My paper seeks to assess how effective mandatory gender pay gap reporting has been at reducing the gender wage differential in the UK financial services sector. The motivation behind this question stems from the fact that women have made considerable progress in many barometers of inequality, yet wage gaps remain a persistent feature of labour markets, and a consensus view on policy imposition has yet to form. This paper assesses wage transparency as a mechanism to combat the wage gap by looking at the introduction of UK legislation. This paper compounds an important body of literature relating to causes of the pay gap and the impact of wage transparency, all in the context of the financial services sector, a setting synonymous with discrimination. While the evolution of the gender wage gap shows progress has been made, earnings differentials are still a key feature in the UK. The importance of addressing the gap prompted the UK government to invoke a law in 2017 requiring companies employing more than 250 employees to report their gender wage gaps. The government hoped this would hold employers publicly accountable and provide females with greater bargaining power. Using data from the annual population survey between 2012 and 2021, the paper adopts a triple difference in difference framework. Since only firms with over 250 employees are required to report their pay gap, individuals can be naturally allocated into treatment and control groups based on whether they were employed in firms that met the threshold and were therefore exposed to mandatory pay gap reporting. This treatment variable is reflected in the dummy over 250, which, when included alongside female and post-policy dummies, ensures the coefficient delta highlights the differential effect of the policy on women and uncovers the impact of the law on their wages. Additionally, the regression accounts for multiple worker controls and year fixed effects. This slide showcases the univariate test without any controls, documenting the main impact of the legislation. Between pre- and post-policy periods, the test found that the main impact of the law was a 5.64 percentage point increase in female wages relative to males, driven primarily by a decrease in male wages in treatment versus control firms. In the main triple difference in difference specification incorporating year fixed effects and worker controls, females experienced a 4.82 percentage point increase in wages compared to males, driven again by reduction in male wages working in treatment firms across all specifications. Against a pre-policy gap of around 19% in the data, this constitutes a remarkable 25% reduction in the differential after the law's imposition. Acknowledging its limitations, the paper concludes that the significant increase in female wages suggests the policy was highly effective at reducing the gender wage gap in the UK financial services industry. Thank you for listening.